my name is Jerusha, and I love to read. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Jerusha Reads. Today I'll be telling you a little bit about a book I just finished called Check Me Out by Becca Wilhite. This book is a modern contemporary romance retelling of Cyrano de Bergerac, which is a French play about a man who has a very large nose, and he is teased mercilessly about it throughout his whole life. As a result, he becomes not only a master with the sword, but also a master of wit and quick remarks, and insulting those who attempt to insult him. He's very good about protecting himself. In the story Cyrano de Bergerac, he is in love with the most beautiful woman in the world, Roxanne, but he feels like she could never accept him for how he is because of how he looks, and as a result, he helps a pretty boy woo her and helps them get married, and continues to encourage their relationship through love notes that are sent from a battlefront until the tragic end when he passes away and he dies, and without ever really telling Roxanne that he was the one in love with her and that wrote her such beautiful letters. Really heartbreaking, honestly, but this book isn't heartbreaking, I promise! So, this book is about a girl named Greta, and she is an assistant librarian at her local small-town library. She has a best friend named Will, who she's known all her life, and he is currently the high school civics and debate coach. And his Cyrano quality is that he's overweight. They've known each other forever. He was even Greta's first kiss, and she admits that there's no one that has been ever a better kisser. But because they've been friends for so long, maybe, or just because she is a little bit shallow at times, and who can say that you're not a little bit shallow at times, she's never seen Will as a potential romantic interest, which is really sad when you think about how awesome he is. For her 24th birthday, she tells Will this super long grocery list of the impossible, perfect man, perfect package that she wants. And so Will sets her up with the perfect guy. He is drop dead gorgeous. He makes me think of a more approachable Mr. Darcy, with curly brown hair and beautiful blue eyes. And she happens to meet him in the poetry section of the library. Meow. But this guy sounds different in text message than he does when they're talking in person. And he also has a quirky habit of wearing cheesy pickup lines on his t-shirts that he wears. But, things are going well. He's super romantic over text message, and they don't have a whole lot of time to spend together because he's working at the local cafe. She's trying to save her local library because funding is low, and there's a bond on the ballot for people to vote on about raising taxes in order to build a bigger and better facility. And, of course, people don't want to raise taxes, even though it's going to be good because money. I'm not going to get into that. So during the course of the book, Greta is trying to save her library, save her job, save her career, and also develop and foster this relationship with Mac, who is gorgeous and romantic over text message, but when they're around each other and they're trying to talk, he's like, "Oh no, I can't give you poetry when you ask for it because I'm so shy." And Greta never sees that it's Will who's feeding Mac all of these amazing poetic text messages that she's swooning over. I mean, girl, please, get it together. Anyway, so that's not a complaint against the book at all. It's just a complaint against the characters, and that's totally normal because the whole time you're reading or watching Cyrano de Bergerac, you're like, Cyrano, or Will, it has the heart and soul of everything that you're ever looking for, and it doesn't matter what he looks like because he is your soulmate. So I really enjoyed the development of the relationship of Greta growing and realizing how much she has come to emotionally depend on Will, and just that realization, because I definitely had something similar. When you realize that someone is your best friend, it doesn't matter 100% if they're drop dead gorgeous, because you want to be with them and you want to spend time with them, and that's how I ended up with my sweetheart, because he became my best friend. So if he ever watches this, honey, I love you. Cheese whiz cracker! Anyway. So, the main issue or thing in this book that kind of gets more focus and more attention than the romance is the debate between libraries and not having community libraries. And so, reading about it, there are several very good arguments for getting rid of libraries and for keeping libraries. And Greta uses her Twitter account to activate and try and keep the importance of the library in people's minds. So if you like romance but you love libraries, you're really going to love this book. So I highly recommend it. And this is also one of those proper romances. So you're going to get the love and the cheese whiz and all the ooey gooey that you like without it being explicit and over the top. And I enjoy that a lot myself. So if you like these kinds of books, I would encourage you to check out my blog, jerushareads.blogspot.com. I have a write-up on there with my recommendations for books similar to this, and maybe even books you wouldn't want to read if this isn't your cup of tea or cup of cocoa, 'cause go cocoa. So thank you for joining me for another episode of Jerusha Reads, and I'll catch you between the pages. Bye!